Good morning, students. Welcome to the biology class. We are continuing with our same chapter, life process. In our last session, we discussed about the transportation, and today we are going to start with our new life process, that is excretion. This is another very important life process. What is excretion? The biological process involved in the removal of harmful waste and salts from the body is called excretion. Means the removal of the toxic substances, harmful substances from our body after completing our metabolic activities is known as excretion. So from where these waste come? These waste include the gaseous waste generating during the photosynthesis and respiration in the plants like O2 and CO2 gases, and nitrogen waste generated during the breakdown of protein in the animals. So in the animal, the waste are nitrogenous in the substance because the breaking down of the protein into the amino acid gives the urea, uric acid and the nitrogen waste, which are toxic for our body, and we have to eliminate that waste from our body. The process is known as excretion. Sometimes the question may be there, what is the difference between egestion and excretion? Egestion means the elimination of the undigested food from the body in the form of a feces, whereas excretion is the removal of harmful waste, nitrogenous waste from the body in the form of a urine. So that is the difference between your egestion and excretion. Egestion we used to study in our digestion. The last, you can say, the step of holozoic nutrition is the egestion. So excretory organs, each and every living organism, either unicellular or multicellular, they have a specific organ for the excretion of the waste product. So in the unicellular organism like amoeba, excretion takes place by the general body surface with the help of the process known as simple diffusion. Whereas in multicellular organisms like planaria, excretion takes place by the protonephridia or flame cells. Earthworm excretion takes place by nephridia. In insects like cockroach, excretion takes place by Malpighian tubules. And cockroach, grasshopper, butterfly, they all comes under the category of insects, and the excretion takes place by the Malpighian tubules. In vertebrates like human, excretion takes place by the kidney, and similarly the fish, the reptiles like snake, they all are having a same excretory organ, that is your kidney. So in this slide you can see the various lower animals as well as the higher animals, like that of your protozoa, that is a cell membrane diffusion, and contractile vacuole is there. Flatworm, the example is planaria with the help of a flame cell. Earthworm, that is nephridia. Grasshopper, that is Malpighian tubule. Crayfish, that is your kidneys. Human, that is your kidney, the lungs, skin and liver, these are the respiratory organs. Whereas the snake, the excretory organ is kidney. Human excretory or the urinary system, this is very important. It is a special system which is helpful in excreting the or eliminating the nitrogenous waste product from our body, and that system include a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureter, urinary bladder and urethra. You can see in this diagram, so these are the bean shaped red color structure which is present in the pair form, that is your kidney, and they are not at the same level, they are asymmetrical because on the left side we are having the heart, and now they can have a number of the, you can say the pelvis is there, medulla is there, and the functional unit known as the nephrons. So this portion from where the ureters comes out and the renal artery enter, this point is known as hilum, and the pair of ureters which are carrying or conducting the urine from the kidney to the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder, it is a muscular sac-like structure in which the urine is going to store temporarily, and then it gets eliminated through the opening known as the urethra. So what is kidney? A pair of kidneys are located in the abdominal cavity, one on either side of vertebral column. Each kidney is bean shaped, reddish brown in color. On concave side is a median or opening called as the hilus, through which renal artery and the nerves enter, and the renal vein and the ureter come out of the kidney. Each kidney is formed of large number of nephrons. A pair of ureter, a long tube that conducts the urine from kidney to the urinary bladder. That is what called as the pair of the ureter. Urinary bladder, it is a hollow sac muscular-like structure that temporarily stores urine and through which we can eliminate with the help of the opening known as the urethra. Urethra is the membranous tube that arises from the neck of the bladder and through which the urine is sent out of the body. So these are the four parts of the excretory system, that is a pair of kidneys, then we are having the ureter, then urinary bladder, and the last part is known as your urethra. This is very important question, and please practice about the diagram of the human excretory system too. Next we are having the nephrons. Nephrons is the structural and the functional unit of the kidney, and these are also known as the basic filtration unit of the kidney. So when we get the transverse section of the kidney, we will get the millions of the coiled structures are there. Millions of the coiled structures are there, which helps in the formation of the urine, and therefore the nephron is known as the structural and the functional unit of the kidney, and it consists of this cup-like structure known as the Bowman's capsule, and these coil-like tubule-like structure, that is promaximal, as well as the U-shape, that is your loops of Henle or the nephron, and this is your distal, which is being collecting to the collecting duct, and from here it is connecting to the ureter through which the urine passes into the ureter, from ureter to the urinary bladder, and then it gets eliminated. And this network of the capillaries is known as vasa recta, and this bunch of capillaries through which the filtration of the substances takes place and then that filtrate becomes the urine is known as the glomerular capsule or glomerulus. So first we will have a structure. It consists of long coiled tubules differentiated into proximal tubule, loop of Henle, and distal tubule. The distal tubules opens into the collecting tubule. At proximal end of the nephron lies a double-walled cup-shaped structure called as the Bowman's capsule, and the Bowman's capsule contains the bundle of blood capillary, the cluster of blood capillaries, the tuft of blood capillaries called as the glomerulus. In glomerulus, the blood that comes in through the afferent arteriole is drained out through the efferent arteriole. Function of nephrons. So in one line we can say the function of nephron is the formation of urine, but it takes place in 3 steps. The first is filtration of blood takes in the Bowman's capsule from the capillaries of the glomerulus. This takes place under the high pressure. The filtrate pass into the tubules, part of the nephron, and this filtrate contains glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid, and the major amount of the water. Means in this filtrate we are having those particular substances too which are required by our body, which are used by our body, and without that we may have some deficiencies, like glucose is being utilized by our body to carry out the metabolic activities. Amino acids helps in building our body. Urea and uric acid, these are the waste product. So but in the first step, the filtrate contains useful as well as the harmful substances. But as the filtrate flows along the tubules, useful substances such as glucose, amino acid, salt, and some amount of water are reabsorbed into the blood capillaries surrounding the nephron, known as vasa recta. So the useful substances, they will be reabsorbed, they will again back to the blood. The remaining part of the filtrate passes into the collecting duct and drain into the space in the kidney as the urine. So when the filtrate passes from the surrounding capillaries, or you can say after the reabsorption into the tubule, this filtrate is containing only the harmful substances. So that filtrate is now known as the urine, which contains urea, uric acid, and some amount of the water. So what are the major nitrogenous waste of our body? That is urea, uric acid, and some amount of the water that enters the urine. So in this picture you can see this is the glomerulus. So with the help of the pressure, the filtrate is there which contain the useful as well as the harmful substances in this Bowman's capsule, that is glucose, amino acid, urea, uric acid, and water. But when this filtrate passes into this tubule, then glucose, amino acid, they get reabsorbed into the blood capillaries, and when it passes, the water will get reabsorbed, the salts will get reabsorbed. But here, that is your distal, and it will contains only the urea, uric acid, some amount of water which has to be eliminated from our body and enters into the collecting duct, and now that is having the concentrated urine, in which we are having the urea, we are having the uric acid, and some amount of the water, because why, except that we are not going to eliminate the urine from our body. So this is very important structure and the function of the nephron. This is your NCERT question. So please go through again and again for the better understanding. So next question again is your NCERT question, that how is the amount of urine produced regulated? Means आपका यूरिन कितना अमाउंट से ज़्यादा आएगा कि कम आएगा, कितनी बार आएगा, ये किस पे डिपेंड करता है? वेरी सिंपली हमें ऐसे होता है कि जिस दिन हमने खूब सारा पानी पिया हो तो हमें यूरिन ज़्यादा आता है, जब हम पानी कम पीते हैं तो यूरिन कम आता है. So this is how the amount of the urine is being regulated. So that depends upon how much excess water is there in the body and how of dissolved waste is there to be excreted. More water and dissolved waste in the body will produce more urine, and on the another hand, less water and the less dissolved waste will therefore produce the less urine. So this is about your excretion in animals, or you can say in the human beings. And now we are going to discuss about the excretion in plants. So plant get rid of CO2 through the stomata, which is the end, or which is the part of your respiration, and excess of water is lost as a water vapor during the transpiration. Most of the waste are stored in the leaves that fall off. Some waste products are stored in the vacuoles of the cell. Gums and the resins, which are the excretions coming out in the form of a white fluid, excreted by the plant as their waste only. They also excrete some waste material into the soil from their root, and some waste substances are also eliminated through the petals, fruits, and the seed. So in this image you can see this is the resin coming out from the plant, this is the gum, and these are the various, you can say, the droplet or the transpiration takes place and the CO2 is eliminated, and the leaves they fall off, which also contain some waste product. By this we finishes our last life process, that is your excretion. So in this chapter we discuss the 4 life processes, that is your nutrition, animal and plant. Then we discuss the respiration in the animals and the plant along with the respiratory system and the various strategies of the respiration. Then we discuss about the transportation in the plants, animals, and the working of the heart. And today we discuss about our excretion and the human excretory system, their parts and their function of the nephron, why it is called as a structural and the functional unit of the kidney. With this we finishes our first chapter, and a very long and interesting chapter, that is life process. Please go through it step by step, slowly and slowly, and consult your NCERT for the same, and kindly note down all the content of this PPT in your biology notebooks with diagrams. So in our next session, we will have our Zoom app live class to clear your doubt and have interact with you. Till then, thank you.